Hello, Dominic.
And
There's Dominic.
good. How is everybody?
We're doing.
It's a good start. You're above the dirt line, that's a good start.
Yeah.
I
On
don't
top
want
of
to
the
sound
world, as they
cynical,
say.
but I don't want to sound cynical, but
Yeah, exactly. Let me, I gotta go over here and get rid of the goofy stuff.
yeah, you got to get rid of the heart. You can't do that until you're live, which is a bit of annoying.
Yep, it is, it is.
Hey, Corey.
You know,
Chat
live chat.
on. Hi, Tim. And post the link and then pin it, and
Yep,
we're done.
working on it. So many clicks to do, you know?
Oh, no. Yeah, I've already said that, Justin.
All right.
And we're done.
I think we got it. Now here comes Justin.
Yeah, we can.
So,
He's right on time. It's 5 o'clock.
So,
How you doing,
yeah,
Justin?
just eating my dinner.
What are we having?
Pizza.
Oh, there's
nice.
there's never a bad time for pizza.
Mm, exactly.
With Corey, Tim.
Tim's here, Corey's here. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I need to get up with Matt and find out if he's going on tomorrow. If not,
Tomorrow night.
I'm just gonna do my show on Friday and not on Saturday.
Well, his show usually is Saturday morning and it's Friday night here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right, but he said he was thinking about he doesn't feel like doing live shows anymore.
Oh,
Mm. Yeah, just take a break
Uh-huh.
or do a different day and see what happens.
Well, I told him, I said, let me know either way, because if that's the case, I'll just move my show to Fridays instead of Saturday.
Well, they should do Saturday night and see what happens.
little Amalor's giving you needles already, Justin.
I don't even see her in the chat.
She says Justin eating as normal. LOL. Then she tells Tim his mic isn't low. He's just stuffing his face instead.
Mm.
Well, I have my mic pushed back because I'm eating. So
Yeah.
Hey, Trevor.
Trevor, how you
and,
doing?
yeah, I'll wait and see if he gets back to me. See what he says.
You should, as I said, he should try a different day. See what happens there. Might be just getting stale of the day.
Well, I'm
Oh.
sure that he's got a busy life anyway, so he's
Mm.
Well, he said he's kind of getting bored with the live shows, so I think that's what it is. I don't.
Mm.
a lot of people do. There's a lot of people that used to be on all the time and disappeared,
Yeah, I enjoy my once a week on that show. It's one of my favorite ones.
I think Tim's tired of being live too. Because he pops in the chats, but he doesn't come on the panels much anymore.
Yeah. You must be getting sick of it.
Hey, Trevor.
I enjoy it. It's a great therapy.
Well, it gives us a chance to catch up. You know, I'm not out in the world doing all kinds
Yeah.
of, and I'm just sitting here in little old Port Huron, Michigan. I go out and fly a ship now and then, but I'm not really with what the world is really doing. You know, you can only watch so much news before you get really bored of that too. I just came back from flying a tug barge.
Mm.
I hadn't gotten it in quite a while, so. And it's in between the rain. The rain is still there, but it's sparse and so it worked out
Mhm.
well.
Yeah.
Where did my phone go? I can't put my phone anywhere.
I think the other thing is keeping it to a certain time rather than just letting it go indefinitely. I think that's another thing that can you can do with any of the streams.
Well, and besides that, you know, if you have a life, which I don't have,
Mm.
you know, it's like Justin's got a family, he's got other things going on in his life, and so I get it, you know, when he can't be on, or Paul Hodges, now that he's got the new woman taking care of him,
Mm.
he's got it, he's developed his own life too, you know, so. Trevor says there's a nice storm coming your way, Don.
Yeah, I replied it won't make us because of the winds, unfortunately. It was a great one yesterday, but it missed us because the wind pushed.
Pushed it. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Now my
Laura
phone.
says she'll be back this Sunday soon with random games live.
Yeah, I
Yeah, because
found my-
getting up and doing this every morning, getting up and doing it at Laura's time every morning is a lot harder. But this, 9 a.m. here is perfect time.
Oh yeah, isn't her 30 days thing over now? Or is she doing it till end of the month?
She's doing it, I think, till New Year's Eve.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It was through New Year's.
Mm.
I want to
Corey
say
said he
last.
lost all the snow a couple days back. He had some nice snow up there, but
Mm.
yeah, the weather has turned warmer.
Half your luck, Tim. 20 degrees here. 20 degrees in December. I'm wearing it. I'm wearing a sweatshirt in December. It's unheard of.
Well, for that part of the world.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Because that's
Well,
what's funny, right? Is because then
Well, as I said, it's when I'm saying it, you automatically think that because of Melbourne, but yeah, it'd be like saying a sweatshirt in July or August for you.
well, that's what I'm saying. It's like in movies and stuff and all that, December's always portrayed as like a cold month, but for you guys, it's
Mm,
complete opposite, which is
mm,
weird to us,
exactly.
That would throw me off. So that'd be like probably the biggest thing that would throw me off about coming over there. Would be it being cold in this what I'm used to be in the summertime.
Mm. I'm waiting for the heat wave.
Well, I would
Right.
imagine it's gotta screw with your psyche a little bit when you fly there. Let's say you fly there and it's wintertime and you get there and it's summertime and you're going like, whoa, was this a time machine or what, you know?
Well, I would say it
Yeah.
would screw with you more if you moved there versus visiting.
Mm.
Well, is that what's wrong with Tim?
Cause I would tell you,
Yeah.
that'd probably throw off of your,
Well,
your
Tim
whole,
could probably tell us if he had a hard time with the weather changing when he moved there from the US.
Mm.
well, that's what happened. He left here in the winter and got there and it was summer, or was it opposite? I think he left here in the winter time and it was summertime there when he got there,
Mm.
or it was vice versa.
Yeah, the humidity would suck, but that's Queensland for you. We don't do humidity that much.
Oh yeah, the humidity here sucks in the summertime. I hate summertime here. Fucking summertime
I'd
blows.
rather it be. I'll do Fahrenheit for you. I'd rather it be 115 with 0% humidity than 90 and 100% humidity. We did that for 3 days and I nearly died.
Oh yeah, dry heat's way easier to deal with.
Yeah.
Cause you can go inside and you cool off almost instantly. When it's super humid,
Mm.
you still feel like shit when you get inside and you start to cool off.
Yeah, because we had what 28 degrees. We had 28 degrees and 100% humidity.
Yeah, in the summertime when it's like 98 degrees and it's like 80, 90% humidity. Oh God, it's horrible. It's always really nice though after a hurricane for the first few days because it like, it takes all the moisture out of the air and everything.
Mm.
So it's usually pretty nice the first few days after a hurricane. It's usually not too bad. It'll still be kind of hot, but first hurricane I was in was horrible though, because we had a whole week without power. Went from Sunday to Sunday.
Mm. Mm.
We were one of the last neighborhoods in our
Brian,
county.
to answer your question, we do get snow, but that's about an hour or so drive away from me. And that's in June. All right, Brian? Yeah, we get snow in June. June and July, and maybe into August.
Yeah, living in the desert, California, I could drive about 45 minutes to an hour up to Big Bear, and there was a ski resort up there.
Yeah, we've got one of the best. We've got one of the best ski resorts around near me. About an hour and a half. Mount
Which
Buller.
it actually snows a lot in the desert. It just doesn't stick, but you'll see the mountains all around the desert valley, and they'll be covered in snow.
Mm.
But down in the valley area, there's nothing. Because where I lived, we were surrounded by big ass mountains all around us, and we were down in the valley in between the mountains, and there would be nothing down there. But you'd see the
Mm.
mountaintops would be all nice and white, look really cool during the
Yep.
wintertime.
I wouldn't really. I'm trying to think where else it would snow in Australia. Can't really think of too many other places.
There was a place we used to go up there to get snow, or we'd go up there. It'd be like 5 or 6 truckloads of people. We go down these 4x4 trails and go up into the mountains and have snowball fights, and then we would load up the trucks with snow and bring them back down.
And Mount Wellington in Tasmania is probably the only other one I can think of, just off the top of my head, other than the Victorian Alps. Trying to think of any other spot. Oh. Hello, Mark.
Hey, Mark, how's it going, buddy?
Yeah, I have to. I'd have to drive to the snow because it's. I don't think it's ever snowed in Melbourne itself.
Is that a waypoint, Mark?
Mount Wellington,
Oh,
with the other one. The only one I can think of. Considering the fact it's that far south. Hmm. Interesting. Yeah, I read about that, Tim. A young kid got a young kid was killed by a shark attack.
oh, a shark attack. Wow.
Yeah.
Probably a, what do you wanna call it? What
How
kind of
did they get
shark
a-
was it?
Don't know.
Was it a Mako?
I don't know. I'll have a look.
And I imagine it was probably either a hammerhead or a bull shark. Those two are aggressive as shit. There was actually drone footage in Australia I saw a couple years ago. There was a bull shark and a sea croc, and they were going at each other.
Oh, really?
Somebody was
Yeah.
recording it with a drone and had the camera facing straight down, and you could see clear as day in the water. And they were both swimming around each other.
This is my territory. No, it's my territory. It's my territory.
Well, they're
York
both
Peninsula.
well, and they're both aggressive as
Ethel
shit too.
Beach. Ethel Beach in the York Peninsula. Doesn't really say what sort of shark it was.
Yeah, I learned something just now.
What's that?
Ain't switching no colors. It ain't working right.
Yeah.
I switched it to try to get the baby's first Christmas in silver on the gold ornament, and it did not. It went back on it, but it didn't stick.
You got better patience than I do. I'm never ever gonna buy.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's gonna just have to be. It's a simple thing to make. I got it. I got it now. I said, let me try to instead of painting it, the over and paint take a second. That's what's the worst part about it.
Huh?
Well, see, that's why everybody's going to the multicolored bamboos, because you don't have to do anything. It just does everything automatically.
Exactly.
That's the color of it.
Just switching out
gold?
filaments on a single printer like that is kind of a pain in the ass.
But
Yep.
it was a pain in the ass, and it, like I said, it didn't take the first two. I went 2 layers of gold. Then I was gonna
Yeah,
do the
notice
rest
that
of the
too.
layers, about 6 layers of silver on top of it. They didn't take.
I used to do that on the Ender, and some of them would come out, and some of them would it wouldn't line back up where it was supposed to be, and then it would screw the whole print up.
But that's a pretty gold. It's called silk gold. And what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna print it in the gold because it works in the gold. I'll just print it and take me a little like green or red paint and just brush over it, you know. Okay, I'm in business now. I'm in business. But I timed it I watched it to where it started doing just the lettering because that's the highest point. And when it got to just the lettering part, that's when I stopped it and changed the filament And I was trying to decide whether I wanted to change it or not.
So you didn't have to do any high school photography today?
8:30.
Oh, 8:30.
Yeah, 8:30 tonight. And then it's gonna
Mm.
depend on if they win, either 5 o'clock or 7 tomorrow.
There we go.
My son came in, they stopped over for a couple of hours. And they over mom's now, go to the mom's side. And tomorrow, he said, well, I'll come up tomorrow to Folsom. And we'll fly some drones up there and bring the gun and shoot the gun and everything else. So I'm gonna go up there tomorrow. He's got to get 2 tires on the car they drove down. He
Yeah,
said they got down here, looked at the tires after they got here, and he said in the front 2 tires, there's a couple of ball spots on them.
just about shot, huh?
Well, he's driven that trip like 4 times in that car. And he
David?
said he looked at the tires when they left. He said, but it's not that it's uneven wear, it's regular wear, but there's a spot where it's starting to get ball. So he's just going to put 2 tires on it tomorrow. I said, yeah, you're going 80 miles an hour with ball tires. I'm glad you got here.
Yeah. That's a good thing.
Hey guys,
Hey, Dave, how's it going,
Hi.
buddy?
going pretty good. I slept in this morning. I had a big day
dear.
yesterday, but sorry about that. But
That's all right. Hey, as long as it was a positive day for you, that's good.
yeah, the problem I was having with my back went away overnight and woke up feeling great.
Good.
So, how's everybody doing?
Yeah, it's all right.
Very good.
Doing good.
Hey, Dom. Hey, Joe. Joe,
Hey.
you cook anything lately?
Hot dogs and chili.
Ah, that sounds good.
I
Actually,
just
right
had
now,
2 hot dogs and chili a minute ago.
sounds good.
I would have had 4, but my son got to them before me.
Ah, that's what the problem is with having kids. No respect.
He said, oh, by the way, I just ate your hot dog.
Well, good.
Paul, did you do any shifts today or did they
Yeah, I
quit?
just came back from doing one. It's been raining all
okay.
day and it led up to a light misty. So I went down and it's nothing big, but it's a tug barge combination. It's a really old one. And but it turned out okay.
Cool.
Yeah, like I say, it is what it is.
Mhm.
Dom, how is the land down under?
Uh,
The same.
my side of Australia, which is the southeastern part, is actually cold for summer.
Okay.
All the heat is in the north, up where Tim is in Queensland. So we're not getting the heat wave, and they are.
I've been I've subscribed to the guy's channel that was the lead singer with that group that wrote that song. I can't remember his name to save my life. But lots of fun. Hey, Justin, how you doing?
How's it going?
Good, good.
Just got that one.
Do the gold, what we want.
Alright, get that done. What's up, Bill? How's it going, man?
Hey, Bill,
Hey, Bill.
Is it Bill? Yeah, I got the chat now.
Well, Bill got one of his printers the other day and was seeing a couple of his shorts.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. He was printing on it.
I got a question, Justin. When you were printing, did you have a problem with the spool ever tangling up?
Not in general, no.
Because I've had like I printed something this morning I was here for, and the spool, it might have been last night, spool, the black spool, was about 3/4 into it. It kept tangling up.
I never had that issue, but
I don't even know how. It's like one, like it got underneath one of the others.
there we go. Bill said it's a piece of shit. Don't buy the Lego Neptune 4 Plus.
Really?
Buyer's remorse.
hmm
Just stuck with bamboo, Bill. Stick with the bamboo. What's the issue, Bill? What problem were you having with it?
Good news is when this feeds right, it feeds easy. When you have a problem with a feed, you gotta fight it.
Really?
But you gotta make sure you got an angle cut on the end of it. And when you push it, you start it to extrude and you feel the wheels going, you push it till it grabs. If you try to push it too much, it won't grab and then it bends it, then you gotta bring it back out. And as
just
long as
doesn't
it's
look
doing
good.
that, it's working.
Bill's response, it just doesn't print good.
Yeah, dude.
I don't
Okay.
know, Bill.
I'm gonna do
Maybe
one all gold, not full wood.
it's just an issue with the printer itself, like a hardware issue, not a firmware issue, is what you're saying, Bill?
That's a good looking silver too.
I mean,
That's a silver silk.
it is possible, Bill. Maybe it's just maybe something's not set right or something. Maybe it's just some small setting or something. I don't know. I don't know nothing about that printer. I'm just guessing here. JD might be able to tell you since he has it.
Justin, look, you can tell my Marine Corps son was here. He walks in, he starts going through everything, right? He brought both of my guns up front so he could play with them. And then this is the one that used to be his. He goes, So I'm taking that back with me, right? I said, oh, hell no. He said, but that was my gun. I said, right. Give me $400, you could have it. Yeah.
The operative word was.
Did you buy it from him?
Well, he sold it to actually, he gave it to my other son. My other son was selling it to a fireman for $400. So he can go get a Glock instead. I said, that's Nick's gun. He said I could sell it. So I bought it from him. I said, give it to me. I handed him 400. So Nick said, so it means I'm getting it back, right? I said, no. He said, well, I got your gun. I said, that's right. He said, well, I'll give you your gun back for that one. I said, no, give me my gun and go buy your own. I said, when I die, you can have it, you know? That's how it works. I wound up having to come up with $400 to keep in the family. And you want it back. No, ain't happening. And his wife, in her particular self, her
Fucking
proper self,
Tim. And you
looked
installed
over and
gyres
said-
on a Neptune.
yeah, his wife and her proper self looked over at Nick and said, shut up, Nick.
That could just be a bad printer from the factory, Bill.
Itchy. What did Bitchy tell me? She in the chat?
No, she's
She
not
not
in
in
the
the chat.
No, she was
she
in
just
Laura's
texted.
chat earlier.
So you can
Where's she?
talk about, eating, not eating veggies.
No, I'm looking to see. Oh, she's lurking. She's lurking.
Yeah, we know it's working, yeah.
So I can't talk about it now.
We
I
know
still
she's
think she's
working.
AI.
Come on, show yourself.
I think she's AI. I don't think she really went to England. I think they're lying.
Show yourself.
So then,
Oh,
if you think it's a conspiracy, that must mean Laura's in on it.
Yeah.
she asked me, she says, you gonna make me a Detroit Lion? You said, I know blue, I got the blue, I got the silver. I'm just kidding. It's fun watching you make stuff. I'm breaking stuff now, really. Then I said that I started talking about it. She says, well, you can put that lion logo somewhere in the back where you can't see it. Does that mean shoving it or what? I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe that was a suggestion.
Oh, I'm reading it wrong.
I
She says,
told
I
you
can
you
put
were
the
listening.
lion logo where she could
Yeah.
see it.
She just showed herself. There, she's in the chat.
I called her out.
Yeah, we knew you were listening.
Lurking.
Yep.
I bet she can hack. I bet it's AI. I'll be sleeping at night and she can hack into my system and look around.
Yep.
Guarantee you.
That's how she's watching you.
You're being
Yeah.
watched.
The other day I was sitting there and I was getting ready to go to bed and I sat here and I had everything turned off and I picked my nose, right? And I looked up and my camera's on. And I said, well, who the hell saw that?
Yeah, exactly.
Gitchy.
Gitchy's got control of your camera, huh?
Mike.
Yeah.
Never know.
So her working for the airline is just a cover. She really
Yeah.
works for
Oh,
the.
she's just AI for the airline.
That's
Yeah.
right. I guarantee you.
Spy on you and sell you plane tickets at the same time.
Gotta make money somehow. Spying doesn't pay real well.
Yeah.
And not happening. Detroit Lion logo.
Yeah, we know that. We know that, Gitchy.
That would be good if you had like, if I could find an ornament type. I found it. Found the Detroit Lions logo. And I can put it on a silver background, like an ornament, and glue it to it. There you go. Oh. Now she would like this. It says Detroit Lions with a lion on a block.
Mm-hmm.
And the way to do this is it's one piece. I'm imagining this would work. If you got right above where it said Detroit, so you still have that big block. And then change it to silver and have the lion on top in silver, blue on the bottom. That would be so much, because the name was nothing. That's why I didn't stick. But it would probably stick, and you'd have like a 1/4 inch layer of silver going to the lion. That might look good. I will see, Gitchy. So Gitchy, you like that color gold? Good catch, huh? Still got the reflexes.
Get you.
The great way they call Gitchy Goomy.
Yeah.
Mm.
They have a Detroit Lion helmet.
I think that Get You would accept anything Detroit Lion.
Mm-hmm.
I think that block is the thing to do. Here you go, Gitchy.
Yep.
Says Detroit Lions. And I'm thinking right after you get above Detroit, I'll be able to make everything else silver. It'll be blue on the bottom, silver on the top. Or silver on the bottom and blue on the top. I think the silver on the top would be better. Either that or make it in two pieces and then glue it on.
Hmm,
It's just reading the chat. Fucking JD.
hmm, yep. See how that goes.
It is big.
Hmm. Okay. That sounds interesting, Gitchy.
Damn it.
Yeah, this Detroit Lion thing is 6 inches long
Mm-hmm.
by the very top point on the lion is about 3 inches wide. It's about 2.5, 3 inches wide. And the top section is about 4 to 5 inches. Whatever 133 millimeters is.
133 millimeters, about 5 inches. No, 5.5 inches. 133 mil.
5.24.
Question?
Yeah,
Yeah, so you got 5 inches high at the highest point and about 6 inches long by about 3 inches wide.
yeah.
Pretty big.
6 inches is 15 centimeters. 6 inches is 150 mil. So yeah, probably about 5.5.
It says Detroit Lions on one side and Grit on the other side.
Yep. Hmm.
I didn't realize I was on mute. Who put me on mute?
I don't know.
Blame it on Hodges.
I don't know.
You mean the missing man complaint?
Yeah.
Hodges is the missing man.
Yep.
He's obviously guilty.
Yeah.
Is it date night?
I think it's every night's date night with him.
Oh, yeah.
I
And
think
his age.
it's getting closer and closer to her moving in myself.
Yep.
Which that's fine if that makes him happy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I know he's been really lonely ever since his wife died.
Yeah. Yeah. It means a toothbrush will be the first thing that goes in there.
Yeah, clean out a couple of drawers and half the closet. Okay, three
Yeah.
quarters.
Yeah, if she makes him happy, I'm happy for both of them.
Yeah, yeah. Paul's a good guy. He deserves to be happy.
Yes, he does.
Yep. Good one, Bill.
Apparently, we had another American die in Hamas captivity.
Oh, really?
Hmm.
Yeah, it's number 2. Yeah, it's not going over well.
Well, I see, was it Iran, today threatened that death to the US? United
Yeah,
States.
Iran ain't nothing but fucking
They do that
talk.
every day.
Yeah, they're all talk.
They've been doing that since 80 or something.
They want to do something, they'd have done it already. It's like North Korea and China, they're all fucking talk.
Looking at it
Because
now.
they,
Yeah, all
Working on
no
it.
action.
I'll see what I can do.
the problem is all those countries, all their allies are all shit countries. Like the US's allies are all first world nations, you know, with advanced infrastructure, advanced militaries. Like China's biggest freaking partners are Iran and fucking North Korea. I mean, really, what does that do for them? Not a whole lot.
Exactly.
That and a quarter will get you something.
I mean, that's a big difference from the U.S. being allied with like Japan and Australia,
Hmm.
UK, and Germany. You know,
Because the US have got all the good
Israel.
places. We'll stand up for them.
well, I mean, it's just the quality of allies is way different from the
Yeah.
U.S. to China, or
Yeah.
even Russia.
Quality
you
of
know.
allies. Yep.
Well, the other thing that bothers me is that all these protests for pro-Palestinian protests,
Hmm.
how many of those people are not citizens of the United States? You know, because they're coming across the border by the millions.
Hmm.
Yeah. Oh. Are you talking about the government or are you talking about the populace of that country?
The populace.
Hmm.
Well, we talk big in front of the camera, but when it's time to go get food, where do they go?
I mean, just look at Russia, right? Russia was considered what the second most powerful military in the world, and just Ukraine has shown how much of a joke they really are. So, in that sense, don't doubt the U.S. military ever again.
Mhm.
That'd have been a whole different situation if the U.S. military went in there. They would have had, granted, they would have been dealing with some insurgency like any country, but they would have
Yeah.
took that entire country in a matter of a week, 2 week stops.
Hmm.
Why do you think they're fighting so well against Russia? Because they were trained by U.S. Special Forces. They were training them for years before that kicked off. For a good 8 or 9 years, I think, before that kicked off, they were already over there training them. That's how. That's one of the reasons why they're so good at repelling them. And the U.S. has gotten damn good at understanding and adapting to insurgent,
Mhm.
Like guerrilla type warfare.
Yeah.
From all their actions in Iraq and Afghanistan, taught them a lot about insurgency. So they got a lot of experience with that now.
Mhm. Yep.
That's just the thing, though. 90% of the militaries around the world, they just don't have the experience
Hmm.
that the U.S. has as far as waging large campaigns and moving equipment on mass levels. And I mean, it's a huge logistical nightmare.
Yep.
The logistics of the U.S. moving military hardware around the world every day
That's what I was gonna say, every day.
it's something that no other country on earth has the capability of doing. Plain and simple. They just don't have the sea lift command to do something like that. Because most European
Dude, last
countries,
Marquise Brown got
Russia,
stopped.
China, a lot of them don't have extensive navies because all their objectives are right on their own borders. They don't need a navy for that.
Yeah.
Where the U.S. obviously, you know, being we're so far away from the rest of the world on neither side of the ocean, we've had to have had to build up an extensive navy over the years and learn how to use it. Because that's the only way we can move equipment and troops that far. She trying to get you to send you a picture, ain't you? Come on, Joe. What if it could just be an AI generated picture too, though.
Yeah.
You're muted.
Muted.
Yeah, I'm glad I didn't say that. I said it's gonna be some guy playing with AI or some kid somewhere. I know.
Let's see if Matt messaged me back. Nope. Hopefully he gets back to me before tomorrow. What time is it over there, Dominic?
It would be 8:54 his time. There's 9:54 here.
Okay. So he's probably still sleeping then.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to find an easy line, because the tail is gonna be crazy to me. I found one that would be absolutely awesome, but I can't find the right file for it.
Oh, that's right. You gotta get a file.
Well, I got a file, but none of the files work for me. Oh, yeah, it is the perfect line. I just can't find the right file.
I'm gonna take off. You guys all have a great day.
Hey, David, thanks for coming in, buddy.
Dave, see you soon.
Yeah.
Enjoy your
You're
day.
always welcome. You know that.
Oh yeah. I just
Later,
been
Dave.
kind of sleeping in the morning. See you later, Joe. See you later,
I'd love
Dom,
to do that.
Justin, everyone. Bye bye.
Okay, buddy. Bye-bye.
Later, Dave.
Bye bye.
Even show it. Don't even show it. Boy.
Gitchy said she must have Joe pretty pleased. Oh, I didn't know that. Gitchy said that they use the horn off of the Mark Barker at the Browns football game. I didn't know that. They must have a duplicate horn.
Mm.
Are they playing right now? Huh? Brown's playing right now tonight. Tonight. Yeah, tonight, Thursday night.
Oh, Tim says, "Damn, it's only 9 a.m. and it's already
What?
31 degrees Celsius.
17 here.
It's going to be an inside kind of day for him," he said.
Mm-hmm. I'm sitting here with a jumper on.
That sweltering heat, that would bug the hell out of me.
That just shows you how big Australia really is. At one end of it, it's 31 degrees. At the other end, it's 17, and I'm wearing a jumper. That shows you how big it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna assume that's hot, Tim.
31 would be 94,
Yeah,
roughly.
it's pretty.
9 o'clock in the
warm.
morning, and it's already 94 degrees.
It's off the
Yes.
top of my head.
Pretty warm.
Sounds like Louisiana.
Yeah, 31 and 31 is 62, and then you add 32 to that, right?
Yeah, roughly.
They get 64, 96.
I was just saying it off the top of my head. Oh, is it correct?
Miami absorbs Tennessee's land and has by far the west side of the map. It's all Miami, but there's still a big bad.
88. Sorry,
Oh, 88. Okay.
88.
That's still friggin' hot. Although Justin, that's an 88. That's a regular summer day for you, isn't it?
Yeah, you high 80s to high 90s. We don't top over 100 very often, but we usually get up to like 97, 98.
Well,
That's our normal high.
We used to go
Yeah.
over 100 for like 20 or 30 days in a row.
It might
Now,
feel,
it's like food.
yeah, it might feel over 100 because sometimes it'll be like 98, but feels like 104.
Yeah,
But it's not actually 104.
yeah. Back in my day, back in the day, about I think 15 years ago, yeah, we were over 115 for 7 days in a row. Now we hardly go over 100. Now we're barely even cracking 90.
Yeah.
Now we're supposed to average that. We're averaging like 65.
It's 34 100 plus days for the whole year.
Okay, New Orleans last year,
Yeah.
this year, over the summer, 34 days of over 100.
Wow.
Yeah, we've done that.
Yeah, I remember the 21 straight days. That was from July, like 24.
We've actually done. We did 100 days over 25 Celsius. But trying to remember about 4 years.
What's up, Chris?
Hey, Chris. Yeah, we did. Yeah, COVID. We haven't had a good
Hey,
summer
Chris.
since COVID started. So that's what, 4 summers? 4 below average summers. We've been over 30 once. No, twice, sorry. And we're usually well over 30 for most of the summer. We've done it twice.
Yeah, I remember those days last year, or this year, last summer. I would get up, fly the drone, be back for 9:30, 10 at night. I mean, like I'd leave about 10. Johnny and I go do it real early and leave. We'd be back before lunchtime because it gets so hot.
Yeah. Haven't been to. We usually get 3 or 4 40s over that's 104 Celsius. We usually get 3 or 4 of those during a winter. We've had 1 in 5 years.
Kind of quiet tonight.
Yeah, it is actually.
These days got me so messed up. I feel like it's Saturday.
Yeah, it's that period between
Between the
Christmas
holidays,
and-
yeah.
yeah. You don't know what day it is. I thought it was, I woke up thinking it was Wednesday, and then Thursday, and then was reminded it was Friday. So I don't know
All
what
right,
day
Tim.
it is. Good luck with that.
What's Tim up to?
Going into town.
Oh, he's making a beer run.
Why do you look confused, Joe?
I'm just looking at it. It works. It worked. I'm looking at whether I like it this way or I need to raise those letters a little more. The letters look good. Yeah, this one worked.
You got better patience than I do.
Shit, Chris, it's about as bad in Florida right now too, with all the damn shit people have released here. There's a lot of animals here that ain't supposed to be here that are just loose in the wild.
Are
there's
they
too
still
many.
having problems with snakes in the Everglades?
Oh yeah, snakes, fucking
There's too many things
iguanas.
down here.
There's even monkeys loose in Florida. I haven't ever seen one, but apparently there is. Yeah, all kinds of shit down here that people have released and
Yeah. Hey, Nanya.
Nanya's
Been a while.
here.
yeah, and you got a fucking 15-foot long boa constrictor and you can't take care of it no more. Let's just let it go in the backyard. See what
Yeah,
happens.
don't worry. Yeah, everything will kill you over here.
And so it's gotten worse here. Florida's gotten pretty bad as far as the ecosystem goes.
Hmm.
There's what are the monitor lizards?
Yeah.
Those are even loose here. Those things are mean
Yeah.
as shit too. Those are the ones that will like you corner it and it's like a fucking badger. Little
Yeah. If it's not the kangaroos, hopping down the street or the drop bears, just hitting in every tree that you can look at.
JD.
No, I just got, I at this period of time, between 9 a.m. and 10:30, I got nothing else to do. I go up to 7-Eleven, about 15 minutes, get a coffee, and then go off and have lunch and continue.
He's got
doing
his
stuff.
prowler kit in the back seat for stealing neighborhood cats.
Yeah.
Come here, kitty. I got some
I just keep
tuna for
forgetting
you.
to take the bloody thing out. As I said, a couple of weeks ago, I went to a cat shelter, and there was just nothing that took my fancy.
Like I said, to here they busted that lady. She had like over, what was it, 40 or 50 cats, bunch of ducks and chickens, fucking bunch of dogs. Like this lady had over 300 animals in this little double wide trailer.
Yeah.
Just crammed in there. And it got so like the ASPCA and the dog pound, the sheriff's dog pound,
Yeah.
got so overwhelmed that he actually opened up adoptions free of charge. You can just walk in there and say, I want a dog, and it covers the shots, everything.
Yeah,
And you can just walk out with the free animal.
as long as you have all the respective permits over here, you can have as many as you want.
Well, that's one of the things where I thought there was a limit here, and the reporter asked the sheriff, she said, is there an actual limit on how many animals you can have? And he said, no. He goes, as long as you can take care of them and you have the
Yeah, I
proper
mean-
shelter and you're getting all their vet stuff done, and they're all licensed and everything. He goes, you can have 20
No,
cats if you
don't
want.
have Tim Hortons.
He said if you-
We have better coffee than that. Um,
But yeah, he
But-
said if you got a farm and you can house 10 cats, he goes, by all means you can, as long as they're properly taken care of.
yeah, you have to pay a $40 permit fee. And any cats over the amount of 3, if you need another permit. And if they deem it to be appropriate, you can then just have as many as you need. No, we don't, to further address Chris's comment about Tim Hortons, we don't have any of those franchise coffees down here. We have small coffee roasters that do that. You know, Starbucks opened about 15 or 20 stores because they thought, oh, great, everybody will drink coffee down here. We've got one left.
They closed up, huh?
Yeah, we've got a lot of small operators, and each of those aligns themselves with a coffee producer.
Look at some of these pictures he shows right here of the inside of the house.
Just by the environment they were kept in.
Fucking disgusting, dude. Watch this.
Here's an example of a very sick cat. This cat is remarkably ill. The one that I don't think you can ever forget, this is their washing machine. How
Look at that.
do you think
Nah.
they got a
Wow.
physical
Fucking
problem
covered in
around the
feces, dude.
washing machine? And then there's the big picture.
And and the lady was living in the house taking care of her elderly mother.
On top of the file.
Look at that.
Oh, God.
All that is going on there. Imagine
Now, like I said, imagine that's a double wide trailer.
Hmm.
And she had over 300 animals in that trailer.
That's about, well, considering the fact that we were given 2 cats, and I was sent there with a couple of $100 to adopt another one. I couldn't find one that was that had the look. So yeah, our cat shelters, and we've got cat shelters and we've got cat cafes where you can actually go in, interact with a cat for 15, 20 minutes and say, okay, I want to look at that. And then you have to do the paperwork, there's background checks, there's other various permits you've got to go through.
Jesus, all to fucking just adopt a pet?
Yeah.
Fuck. Dude, I can watch. So the average cost here is about $40, $50 to adopt a pet. And I can literally just walk in there, look at some dogs and say, I want that dog there. And they'll bring him into the thing, let you play with them and kind of get acclimated with them. And then, dude, you can go do the paperwork and you're in and out in like 30 minutes. Done.
Yeah,
But that's normal, it's 40,
probably,
50.
probably took when I adopted one from a cat shelter, took me about an hour.
But they do like $12 weekends where it's only $12, and sometimes they
Yeah.
do it where you only have to pay $1. And then he does with the where he waives the fees.
And it also depends on the age of the cat too. The older the
Right.
cat, the quicker they are.
But he is such a big animal over the sheriff is that the pound here is not, they do not kill any animals unless of 2 things: a medical issue that cannot be fixed.
Yep.
They'll mainly put the animal down, or if it's so aggressive and they can't find a shelter to take it, because there are certain like adoption agencies that deal with aggressive dogs. Like there's ones that just do pit bulls. They'll come pick up an aggressive pit bull and they'll work with it and they'll house it, but they'll never home it to somebody, but they'll house it and let it live out its life in a nice,
Yeah,
environment
well, we've got
with
there's
professionals.
there's a local cat shelter here that has a cat that is
But they don't do the gas chamber shit
very,
and
no,
all
no,
that,
no.
like
This
some
cat-
shelters do.
this cat's become a celebrity for being aggressive. So
Well,
you
so
just go,
unfortunately,
yeah,
well, unfortunately, some pounds in the U.S. still do where, you know, they'll put 200 animals in a chamber and just gas them.
Nah.
You know what I'm saying? But here, they're not. They don't do that. What they do is, if the pound gets overwhelmed with too many animals, they have the ASPCA and a couple other shelters around here that are private, and they come in and kind of take their overload out for them, and they
Yeah.
all work together to kind of shift animals back and forth, so they not neither one of them is too overloaded. And
yeah, because we have around my area and my state, we've probably got about 100 different shelters, and each of them, once one gets overwhelmed, my cat's not aggressive, no, but there is as I said, there's a cat at a local cat shelter that has become a celebrity where people actually go and visit him.
but like here, like I said, the sheriff's department will do their best to find a organization that's willing to take an aggressive animal, but if they can't and it's an absolute, that's like just their last resort, then they'll put the animal down. But like I said, there's organizations here in the US that deal with, like, all they do is take aggressive pit bulls, and there's some that do Rottweilers, there's some that do, you know, German Shepherds. And what they'll do is take them, they have special, like, guys that are trained in working with them, and they kind of have this thing where they just kind of live out their life in a facility.
Yeah.
But they don't adopt them out to anybody, and they're, you know, taken care of by the
As I said,
facility.
well, I can't really talk for the dogs because I haven't had one in probably 35 years. But I've been involved in.
That's the
many
same
of
way
the-
with cats here. They do the same thing with cats.
Yeah.
But like the animal control here, they do everything. Like, if you have an alligator, they'll come get it. If you have a injured duck, they'll come pick it up. Like, it's see, some animal controls in the U.S., they only deal with domesticated animals.
Yeah.
But here, the sheriff's department, they do everything. So if you have a loose gator in your backyard and you need it removed, they'll
We've
send
got
their
different-
guys out to come get it.
We've got different different divisions because we've got cats and dogs, and cats and dogs are generally looked after by councils. And then you've got horse, which is a different horse and other wildlife are done by different ones. So there's about 4 or 5 different. It depends. It's about 4 or 5 different departments.
Well, I call our county pound a pound, but it's not really a pound like people try to what they think, because pound has a
No,
very
they're not.
negative
Connotation, yep.
connotation, but it is technically a county pound. But like I said, the sheriff here, he does what he can to not kill animals. Like, it's a last resort if they have to do that. Like, they really work with a lot of agencies to try to.
Yeah, because most of our, I don't want to call them pounds, but there's nothing else to call them. Most of them have really large areas for where they can just roam around.
Well, see, that's the thing, Andrew. You could have 300 dogs and be fine. If you have a big ass farm, like the sheriff said, if you have a big farm and those dogs have plenty of room to run, and they got a nice little barn to sleep in, and you're
Yeah.
feeding them, and they're getting regular checkups, all that stuff. I mean, anybody can have that many animals, but you have to properly do it, and you have to be able to
Yeah,
afford to do
I
it
know
too.
someone that's got 10 cats.
But the
and
problem,
they are perfectly taken care of.
But the problem is some of these people, sometimes they'll start with good intentions. You know, they want to take care of these animals, but then it becomes so overwhelming that they just let it go. And then they get in this mindset of, I'm taking care of the animals because they're living in my house, but they're not thinking of, I'm actually killing the animal because there's feces everywhere, and they're getting ammonia sickness, like, you know, sick from the ammonia and eye infections. And then it just spirals out of control, you know?
Yeah.
But you got to have the money to feed that many animals too. I mean, fuck.
Oh,
Imagine
yeah.
having 300 dogs.
Having a pet is not free.
I'm saying, imagine having 300 dogs. Jesus Christ, that's a lot of dog food.
Well, just think of the vet bills.
Yeah,
Well, yeah.
if you took care of them properly.
Well, I mean, if you took care of them properly and people knew about it, you could do donations, all that stuff to help pay for it. But like, that's the thing, though, is like, yeah, you got to have all that shit set in place.
Like Mia went to the vet yesterday, it was $400.
If vets, I'm sorry, but vets are a fucking ripoff. I don't know. It seems like more animals don't make it going to a vet to get worked on than actually make it. Just in my opinion.
She was diagnosed with pancreatitis. We've been kind of keeping an eye on that. And they ran a whole screen of stuff. And her liver enzymes and her pancreas enzymes are high. Still.
And it just doesn't seem like the quality of life for especially domesticated animals has really increased at all. You know, like human life expectancy has increased over, decades due to medical advancements and different things like that. But it seems like,
but that's
pets,
that's kind of a curse on the humans.
I'm saying because pets just kind of seem like they really haven't increased in lifespan. Actually, in some breeds, they've actually decreased because of crossbreeding and shit, and it's caused more medical issues. I mean, look how bad some of the German Shepherds are these days because they have weak hips and stuff because of all the weird crossbreeding and shit they've done with them.
That's the breeding.
Exactly, Edward. Just ask Paul if there's 300 squirrels he has to feed.
yeah.
Here's Mia's test results for her screening. If you notice the two red things over on the other side, they're high, right over here.
You got a low one.
But all the rest of them,
I mean, it would cool to be. That's why I said it'd be awesome to be able to have a cat or a dog live damn near as long as you. But it just doesn't seem like the life expectancy of cats and dogs have gotten any
all
better.
animals. Parrots now have a long life, but I think most animals don't have the length of life that you would think.
Well, mine have been on average 15 years.
Well, all the animals that I'm not a general fan of, I don't know. They're the ones that have the long life expectancy. Like, if you want a fucking turtle, I bet you'll outlive you by 100 years.
Yeah. Well,
You want a fucking parrot?
Cockatoos cockatoos will live 80 years.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like birds and turtles and all those animals that I don't find particularly fun pets to me.
Yeah.
I mean, other people do. Obviously, David and Laura like birds, but I'm not a big fan of birds.
I used to have birds, but
those are the ones that have a long life expectancy. But what I consider all the cool animals like cats and dogs, shit ass fucking life expectancy.
Mm.
Well, we got Loki laying down. He's going on 10. He just turned 10, and the Pomeranian's 12 to 16.
And JD ain't lying about that. Yeah, years of feeding human food too. Because there's a lot of people that feed scraps to their dogs every day. That's not always the best thing. And I've seen a lot of dogs get extremely overweight from that too.
Yeah.
That's Cleo.
Well, okay, guys. Well,
hey, Dominic. Hey, thanks for coming in, buddy.
No worries. I'll speak to you soon.
Okay.
Good night.
Later. Yeah, most dogs like my dogs rarely get anything like that. It's rare. But I've seen people that every day, don't matter what's on their plate, they're just like, here you go. And they just give it to them. And not all that a lot of food is not good for them.
Oh yeah, there's pet friendly food, and then there's not pet friendly food.
And then there's stuff you assume would be good for them, and turns out it's not. Like there's certain, fruits and vegetables dogs aren't supposed to eat because they're not good for them.
Yeah.
But you would think they were healthy because you're thinking from a human standpoint. Oh, it's got vitamin C, it's got this and this in it. It's good for me. And you just assume it's good for the dog too. And that's not the case, as they have a different chemical makeup.
Yeah.
But JD's right about that, though. I mean,
Yeah, this is good for me, but it's not good for the dogs.
well, technically, that's not really good for you either.
What is that?
Your body can process it a little better.
Pickle
sausage.
sausage? Okay.
That's like Bo. He got into a whole bag of chocolates one night, ate the whole fucking thing, was
Oh, that's bad.
shitting out colored tinfoil for like a week. Now he was fine. He was fine, but
Speaking
I
of
mean,
which,
it was just a pure accident. The kids, somebody set a bag of chocolates on my desk, and he walked in here, and nobody was happened to be in here at the time, and we were all out in the living room, and he smelt it up there and grabbed it off my desk. It was a bag of Sarah's dark chocolate hearts. And he fucking ate the whole thing, foil and everything. He was shitting out little colored tinfoil for like a week. But yeah, they checked him and he was fine. There was a lot of chocolate, but like I said, chocolate. Yes, they claim it's poisonous to dogs, but that doesn't necessarily mean they're going to die from one time of eating chocolate. It's like a prolonged thing.
I tell you, Tino gets eighth of mucus pill every day. And if you don't give it to him after about a week, he'll start coughing. Well, he's built, and she said it's just allergies. That's what it is. And so I ran out of them, and I forgot. I just didn't have time to go pick them up where I got to get them at. And he would come up to me and he'd cough at me, look at me, like, go get my damn pills. So I said, I wonder if I can give him a Sudafed. So I asked Alexa about that, and they said Sudafed is poisonous to dogs. You know. So it was. I had two things I tried. I wanted to give. Both things were poisonous.
Well, see, I kind of, and a lot of processed foods over here aren't human friendly. That's true too. Unfortunately, grocery stores were like a curse and a blessing in the 20th century, right? Because it allowed food to get out to the masses and have a shelf life where people didn't have to be like hunters and gatherers every day to go out and find food. But at the same time, in order to get food out that far and that wide, you have to put all these, preservatives and shit in it in order to give it a longer shelf life. Because there's some foods that could be in a warehouse for 2-3 months before it hits the store shelves, So
I got MREs in the back, got a 25-year date on.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, it's grocery stores are like a blessing and a curse to modern society. It made it easier for everyday people to get food because obviously it's readily available. But then at the same time, in order to have stuff have a long shelf life, you got to load it up with preservatives and everything else, which is not really the best for people. I mean, if you really want to live 100% optimal, as healthy of a life as possible or best diet as possible, you're going to be limited to a very small amount of shit because there's not much stuff out there that doesn't have preservatives and all that shit in it.
Yep.
I mean, look at some of the vegetables and stuff these days that are radiated in order to get rid of bacteria so they don't decay as quick. I don't know if that radiation has any kind of long-term effect on people, but there's certain shit like that that's done to stuff too. I mean, how the fuck do you think they get a tomato from California to Florida or wherever, 4 states over without it being rotten by the time it gets there?
Oh, Chris, do you see what Chris put in there? Had a cat ate a small ball of twine, had to cut it off at his bum. Must have been coming out.
Just pulling it out.
Well, you never heard. No, I'm not. I'll be clipped. I'm not putting it on. Am I? I'm not gonna.
But luckily and fortunately for me and Sarah, one of her like best friend that she grew up with is a veterinarian, so We just go to her if we have any issues. She looks at them. So
That would have been a good ship to catch right there with the drone at night. The Frontenac.
That was nice.
that looks like a brand new fucking boat. Oh,
No,
I li-
it's a Canada steamship line boat.
I know. I like that color scheme, the black and white though. Looks
Well,
pretty cool.
actually, in real life, the hull is kind of a dark reddish.
Oh, because on your screen it looks black and white.
Yeah, that's because of the nighttime.
Plus, I'm looking
the-
at it through a camera or through a
Yeah.
TV screen, through a camera on another TV screen, through
Yeah.
another camera.
Yep. And Justin Loki, like I said, he's 10 years old and he has seizures every once in a while. The other day he had 3.
Well,
Oh,
I-
That's what he does. He
Yeah.
tightens up and just stands there and leans against me. And it takes about 5 minutes and he gets out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hodges' dog has bad seizures too. Every
Yeah.
once he's been on quite a few live streams when all of a sudden his dog started having a seizure.
And normally it's nothing really
Small-
severe. It's just
Small
had it.
dogs, I've noticed that a lot of small dogs tend to have seizure problems.
I don't know if do cats have seizures? I don't know.
I mean, I'm sure
They do.
there is. Any animal or any person can have a seizure at any time. But small dogs, I've seen a lot of people with small dogs that tend to have seizure issues. Seems
Yeah,
to be
Loki
common.
has seizures. Loki has seizures. Tino snores louder than me.
Well, small dogs, a lot of some really tiny dogs, man, they tend to have some of the worst shit because like I said, a lot of crossbreeding and all that to get the dogs certain looks and certain sizes and yeah, a lot of weird shit. Hey, Tyson.
Yeah, it was a pretty ship. But it's raining down there right now.
I know your little buddy's leaving you for a week and a half. Yeah, she'll be back, buddy.
Gotta argue with them at least once a day. Today's twice.
Oh, he had to be clipped. He had to clip that stuff out of that cat's butt for a whole month every day.
Wow.
He's lucky it probably came out.
Well,
Could
you
have
probably,
twisted around his inside.
well, that's probably why you wouldn't want to pull it
Yeah.
because you don't know what it's caught on. You know, you go ripping the fucking cat's intestines out its
Wow.
asshole.
Hey, drone
He
shots
keeps
is here.
pulling on it and the eye come through.
What's up, Jody? So I said you don't want to pull the cat's intestines out through its ass.
Pull the cat inside out.
It's
shit.
probably safer to sit there and clip it as they're pooping. And it's
Hurry up, blow him back another way.
like a
But Luna, when my daughter had Luna, she was right after she got her, within a couple of weeks, Luna stopped eating. And Brittany says, I don't know what's wrong with her. She stopped eating. And I said, did she chew up anything? And she said,
Right.
yeah, she's chewed up a flip-flop. I said, when were you going to tell me that? I said, did you find all the pieces? And she said, no. So she had a vet appointment. We brought her to the vet. She had a piece of the flip-flop stuck in her intestines. And they were doing they were spading her at the same time. And they said, well, you're kind of lucky. We can do the same thing. We can get it out while we're doing the spade. So it would save you the operation cost. But the surgery part of that was still $400.
Yeah.
They said it would have been like $1,600 if they wouldn't have been doing the spade that time. But they brought back, it was a piece of where the toe goes in, about a little
Yep.
thong. It was a piece about that big and about that wide. It was stuck up in it. Freaking dog ate a piece of sand.
the sad part of it is, why wouldn't she think that she should do something about it, you know?
Well, you know what the sad part of it was? Guess who pays for it?
You.
Yeah, me. On a bill that I never see.
Oh,
Oh, well, she can't hear me. I'm doing a stupid shit now.
that's you know the story behind that dog, right?
Yeah,
Joe?
that's the one that was at the convenience store or
station.
something.
Yeah, was that outside a
station.
party store for days. And everybody, the poor dog would go in the store looking for water or something, and they'd run him out.
That's my little buddy right there, but
Yeah, I got a friend of mine found a dog. He was out hunting, and he heard something. He heard a whimpering sound. He went over and he found a dog. It was just a mixed breed, like a cocker spaniel breed, and the dog was real dehydrated, real malnutrition, and the dog was left there, and the legs were tied up. But he just left the dog, and the dog had to have been out there for a couple of weeks, at least a week. You know, that's just you could tell. And thank God the dog was still alive. And he got over there, and the dog was just whimpering. He picked it up, and he figured he was going to bring it somewhere to have it put down. And he put it in the back of his truck, and he cut the stuff off, and the dog couldn't get up. It was that weak. Brought it to the vet. Vet said, other than being in the condition it's in, the dog looks healthy. Why don't we try to see what we can do? They ran IVs on the dog. 2 days later, the dog was up walking around, and he still got the dog.
All right.
And that dog will not leave his side.
Yep. Well, yeah, because
You know?
he rescued him. Well,
Yeah.
yeah, Chris, I've never been a fan of small dogs, but that's my little buddy right there.
See,
And he
Loki,
is
Loki
not-
lays right next to me, right here.
He's
He's
not
right down
happy
there.
that she's leaving. Aubrey's leaving for a week and a half, so he's
that's what I
watching.
heard. She's going out of town.
He's watching her pack up right now. He don't like it. I can't wait to see what he does when she gets back. That's her little buddy right there.
Yep.
She does this trick with
Yeah.
him. She stands up and she goes like this, and then he jumps up and she catches him in midair.
Wow.
He only does it with her too. Won't do it with me.
He trusts her, he don't trust you.
Yeah, he loves her. That's his little buddy right there.
You can tell by the way he hugs on her.
I've got a molded plastic, it's called an Orbit chair that I have from when I worked at USA Baby Child Space. It's a kid's chair, basically, for a kid's room. And I'll tell you what, you look at it and you think it's the ugliest thing in the world. It's nothing but molded plastic, and it's like an egg shape type. And it's the most comfortable chair you'd ever sit in, even though it's nothing but plastic. And that's where Tino stays. That's his chair now.
That's
He
his
just jumps
chair.
in the chair. Oh yeah, he goes up and sits in the chair. Cleo lays on the floor where I got a pillow for her, and Loki lays right next to me by my feet. And they'll go in the back to, like, if I'm here about like 8:30, 9 o'clock, they'll come walk at me and go in the back. Loki will stay right by me until I go in the back.
Well, what do
But
they
Shetty-
think about? What do they think about when you go away out and do stuff?
They don't like it.
Yeah.
They don't like it. I've got a gate going to my front door because the skateboarders is Tino. If you let him out, he's gone. Then you got to get him. He'll run to my car. That's what he'll do most of the time. But if I'm not here and he gets out, he's gonna be looking for my car. But he'll listen to you when you tell him to stop. He'll stop. But Cleo, I've accidentally let her out and didn't realize it. Came in. I said, "Where's Cleo?" And she's outside scratching on the door, saying, "Oh hell no, I'm coming back." You know, she knows she's got it good, so she'll scratch on the door. She'll sit right there and wait. And Loki was trained where they didn't use a leash, walking back and forth to the car, and he'll just walk right next to you. That's how they trained him. I always say put a leash on him, because you never know when something's going to
No.
distract him and make him go.
Well,
Or
you know,
got to grab him.
and another dog goes by, you know.
Yeah, you might have to grab him. You know,
See,
another
Tyson,
dog might come after him.
Tyson listens to me. Like Bo, he gets out, he'll take off running from you. Tyson, though, if he starts running and I yell, Tyson, and I snap my fingers, he'll stop immediately and come back to me.
Yeah, I took him over to the dog park. We got a little dog park in here. And I took him over. I said, go run. Y'all go run. They sat next to me. They wouldn't run. You know, but
Lynn's
if I,
got,
like I said,
one of the dogs that Lenny has is a runner. And if he
Yeah.
gets out, he's headed out of the neighborhood. He's gone everywhere.
well, I used to have one like that, Inky. He was a full Cocker Spaniel. He was a hoe. He'd be sitting by the fence and you see him smelling. And all of it must have been another dog nearby in heat or something.
Yeah.
He'd climb the fence and go. And he'd come back a couple of days later, big old smile on his face. And
Yeah,
we wouldn't see him for 2 or 3 days.
Yeah, Chris, like I said, I was never a big fan of little dogs because a lot of little dogs have like this big man complex, little man complex, you know, and a lot of them have really bad attitudes. But Tyson, I don't know, he's been really cool ever since I picked him up that day.
Yeah, I've had large and small dogs. You know, I've had great big Siberians, and I've had big Dalmatians, and then I had one that was just a little, I don't know what he like a teacup, whatever, but he was short haired, and he was one of the best dogs.
Yeah, like I said, most of the little dogs
Jesus.
that I've met in my life have always been really fucking aggressive and mean, even towards their owners. I have met a few nice ones here and there, but majority of them have always been like very aggressive, and I just never cared for little dogs. I just
Justin,
didn't
look
want-
how my son left my pistol.
Oh, hammer cocked?
Oh yeah, I picked it up just now. I pulled it out. You didn't hear me? I went, geez.
Yeah, he is ready.
I mean, it was like it was sitting in the holster. I pulled out those and I saw it.
Is it loaded?
Yeah.
I think it's time Papa had a talk with the son.
That's my Marine Corps son too.
Yeah, he should know better. Yep.
Woo. I say, did you realize you put it in there with the hammerback? Now it's nothing in it now. But it's perfectly safe because if you grab it, you can grab it. Because I was practicing with it like that. When I take it out with the hammerback. Maybe he thought that's what I was still doing. Because it's perfectly safe in there with the hammerback. You can't get to it. And when you take it out, you got it. But the pull on this thing is like barely move.
Yeah, I'll never forget that day I picked up Tyson. I opened my truck door and I just yelled to him. I was like, "Come here!" He jumped right up in my lap, put his paws up on the steering wheel. I was like, "Where are we going?"
Yeah, he was your
Did it.
dog right from the beginning.
Didn't even hesitate. He just jumped right up in the car in my lap and then stood up on the steering wheel and just was like, "Where are we going?" And took him straight home. Gave him some food
Yeah.
and water. And him and Bo became best buds within like 5 minutes of seeing each other. I just kept an eye on him.
I used to work for a company, Southwest Sporting Goods and Toys, years back before I went to Marine Corps. And I was one of their security guys that carried the payroll. And we used to carry a similar 357 to this. And it was normal that we were trained to pull the hammer back like that and leave it.
What's up,
Because you
Russell?
leave it in your holster, it was protected. So you'd have a fast pull. And I got home one night, we were playing cards at my grandmother's, and I took it out and I stuck it over on the corner on top of the refrigerator. And the hammer was pulled back on it like that. And my grandmother, being a little Italian, nosy self, she walks over and she goes, "Your gun's gonna fall from up there." I said, "No, it's not. Just leave it alone. It's good where it's at." I said, "The gun's fine, Mama, it's fine." And she walked by and looked at it again. She said, "You sure it's not gonna fall from up there?" I said, "Mama, it's not gonna, it's all the weight's in the front of it. The handle's fine. It's good. Just don't worry about it. I'll come get it in a minute. If it's bothering you, I'll come get it in a minute." She walked back, reached up there and grabbed it. And as she grabs it, she grabbed it and pulled it out. It came out and she squeezed.
Oh,
I'll put it to you this way. Blew the clock off the wall. bullet went through the wall, went to the house next door, through the bathroom window into that wall. And that's my uncle's house, and he was taking a shower.
Oh, wow.
My dad, blew a hole through the roof one night at the house. He had, he was unloading his 30-06 and something happened with the hammer on it and something malfunctioned and it flew forward and just boom right through the fucking roof, dude. Put a big ass hole in the roof. Fucking loud as shit, dude. Was ringing my ears. I was literally sitting probably 5 feet from him. My ears
Yeah,
were
but
ringing.
as she pulled it, it was like that.
Or finger right. Well, yeah, the average person, when they grab a gun, instead of keeping the
grab it.
finger out,
Yeah.
they stick it right on the trigger.
I was probably 9 or 10 when that happened. My dad took it to his buddy who was a gunsmith and he worked on it and found there was some kind of defect in it.
Wow.
And
Yeah, after we found out everybody was okay, my dad chewed me up. So from that point on, when I came inside, I made sure I not only put the hammer back, but also took the bullets up. But that could have been nasty.
The most badass pistol I had was a Colt Python 357 with a 4-inch barrel.
pretty big
And it
boy.
was nickel plated.
Yeah,
And
that's
when
nice.
you squeezed one off with that, man, you better have both hands on it because
Yeah, this is the 357. You
yep,
got to have a grip on this one.
yep. Because the kick, the average person doesn't realize how much a handgun can kick.
Oh, well, I remember the first time my cousin shot a 12 gauge. Told him, hold it tight up against your shoulder, and he didn't. And fucking hit it. And about blew his damn
Oh,
shoulder
yeah.
off.
Well, I'm gonna be shooting that one tomorrow up in Folsom. Because up at Folsom, I'm gonna shoot both of them tomorrow, probably. It's country. You can shoot in your backyard. So I'm gonna bring it up there, but I'm gonna stop at Academy tomorrow before I go up there and buy a box of 380s because I'm not shooting my 357 around. They cost too freaking much.
Yeah, ammo isn't cheap either.
No, I'm not worried about the 9mm. We probably got 15,000 rounds of 9mm here, and that's all free shit. That's all the stuff the police officers get. They get them, and he
Stop
gets them
smoking.
when he goes to the range, and by the time they finish firing, he's still got 1,000 rounds. They give him that much because it's for him to go shoot when he wants.
Practice.
Fun gun to go just do some little tinking around target practice. It's super cheap. It's just
Andrew, no, I sold
play
it.
with the 22. 22s are fun to play with.
I was looking at a little 22 caliber. I'm trying to think of the brand name. Can't remember. I looked at it. If I do move up to a Folsom area, I'm gonna buy me one of those little bitty small 22s like that hold 15 rounds, and because there's a lot of snakes up there, and I'm gonna carry that sucker on my hip all over my property.
I had 2 different 22s growing up. One of them was it had the little slide bar. You'd pull it up, to load through the barrel.
Yeah.
And you could do like 15 or 16 rounds, whatever it was. And then you would slide it back down and lock it in. And then I had one that had actually the barrel would screw off. You could take the barrel off and then put it in the case. And it had a little, I think it was an 8-shot clip you put in the bottom. I used to go through shit tons of 22 rounds.
It's 22 rounds are cheap.
Yeah, I've sold almost all of my guns. Lynn confiscated one of my guns because I was showing it on here, and she she freaked out about it. And while I wasn't here, she came over and took it. Stole my gun. So, and I was keeping it just kind of for self-protection because I'm licensed to carry a gun. I got a concealed weapons permit.
So it looks like, yeah, Matt is going live tomorrow, so
Oh, he is?
yeah. You
So he's
just
going
messaged me
live
that.
Saturday morning, right? Australian time.
Yeah, it should be tomorrow night. 8 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. What's up, Johnny?
Hey, Johnny. Happy New Year to you too.
What's up, John?
I only have one gun. This is just a little Jennings 38. Not really that great of a gun.
Gitchy
honest
said
with you.
she's got a 38 is her, she's got 20 guns. And she says a 38 special is her favorite.
I need to go get me a couple more. Yeah, that's all I have is just a little Jennings 38. It's a little cheapy one. I mean, it works, but I actually need to take it apart and clean it. I haven't done that in probably over a year. Nice little purse gun.
Well, get you.
Yeah, 38 special. Oh yeah, those are nice little concealed
That's what
carries.
my daughter has, a little 38 special, a little bit.
See, I would rather have a 38 with a clip though. It gives you a few more rounds.
Yeah,
It's
something
like-
with a clip in it, but yeah, you know, the five is a good. But I was always taught, Joe, if you have a revolver, you're not supposed to leave one in the first chamber. You're supposed to have five in there.
Mine has 8 clip, and then you can put one in the chamber, so you can have 9 shots instead of 6.
Yeah, it would be a good thing to have it in every one of them. It's just a safety, it's a safety thing,
Safety thing, yep.
right? But the way they're made nowadays is because mine, I played with it for about a week before I put the first bullet in. And I was looking at it and watching how everything worked. Because to make that hammer work, there's a block. And that block's got to be off. I mean,
Yeah.
got to be right there for the hammer to work. And if you start releasing that hammer and releasing that trigger, that block's dropping down.
Or let me rephrase that.
When you releasing it.
Magazine, just in case somebody wants to get uppity about saying clip.
Hey, and I said bullet round. How about that? But this one, the 9mm holds 12. Has 12 in it. And
But
that's my backup rounds. So I have 24 with me when I take this one.
1911, yeah, that's a good gun.
And that usually has a 8 to 10
JD said he's got
single stack.
he's got 16 in the clip and one in the chamber.
Yep. It's a
That's
a
my
way
son,
to
police got 17.
yeah, it's a way to get an extra bullet in there.
Gitchy, hey, thanks for being here, my dear. Gitchy's saying goodbye to everybody.
All right, we'll see you later, Gitchy.
She says, "Go Jets."
And in high school, 8:30. Good night.
So what time you
Oh.
got? What time you got to go to high school, Joe?
Well, it's 8:30 and it's 17 minutes from here. I'm not leaving here till at least 7:30.
But you're also Central Time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got an hour. I got 2 hours.
Oh, JD says he doesn't have any
Hour and a
guns.
half.
JD doesn't have a gun. He lives out in gun country.
He's in Kansas.
JD lives west of Kansas City.
I don't know. Is Kansas really labeled as a gun state?
Well, it's the middle of the country, and you think about it, I mean, they grew up with guns out there.
Yeah,
He lives in a more of a city area though, in Olathe.
Olathe is not all that much city, but it's suburban.
I'm saying it's not fucking hick USA neither.
Oh, no, it's probably middle class. They're a little,
I lived in Olathe for about a little over a year. It's a small little. I would
well,
say
did you,
small city.
when were you there?
Back in 2004, maybe. It's been a while. My mom was living out there for about 3 or 4 years, and I came out and stayed with her for a little over a
And
year.
did you go to Shawnee, Kansas at all?
No,
Okay, Shawnee, Kansas would be a little bit north of Olathe. That was where I had my first Pizza Hut store. Shawnee, Kansas.
'cause I lived right down the street from her. I was in the middle of town, and I was right down the street from my work. I worked at Price Chopper, which JD would know that. That's a grocery store there.
Ed Hassick says he's got a Springfield 1911 45.
that's good.
Yeah. That gun's worth some money.
Because I was like 18 or 19 when I lived there. Something like that. It was right after I left Vegas because I was in Vegas for about the time I turned 17 till, yeah, it would have been actually almost 20 at the time. So I was in Vegas for, I think, around 2 years. All right. Well, I'm gonna jump off.
Okay, we can shut her down.
All right. I'll see y'all later.
Okay,
I'll see
Justin,
y'all a little bit
are
later.
you
tomorrow.
gonna be doing a live show later tonight or no?
Not tonight, no, because Aubrey's
Okay.
got to leave early in the morning. So,
Okay.
all right. I'll
All
see
right,
y'all later.
everybody. Hey, Joe, take care.
See y'all
Everybody,
later.
chat. We'll see all of you again tomorrow.